Hey guys, welcome back to Relatable Girl. I am pretty excited about doing this because I haven't ever really done something like this before, and I think it'll be fun, but I do want to give a big preface before we even get started with this and ask you, please do not find any of the people who left these reviews and say something bad about what they said. Please do not, argue with them, because any of the reviews that I'm going to read, good or bad, are these people's opinions. They are allowed to have their opinions. All opinions are valid. And while some of them are pretty hilarious to me, as the person who wrote this book, I mean no harm to the people who made those reviews or to the people who, feel the way that they do about this book. I just think this would be fun. I love those celebrities reading mean tweets videos, so I thought it would be fun to do like an author reading bad reviews, and then to make this a little bit, more positive as well, we're also going to read some good ones. So anyway, let's jump into it. I am on Amazon, where there are 82 reviews on Amazon US. There are additional reviews on, Amazon UK or Amazon Australia, whatever, but we're going to do the US ones for now. So I'm going in here and I'm going to go into the 1-star reviews first. This review starts off with the tagline, "Nope." And it says, "I gave up early on, not worth my time." This one, the tagline is, "Whoa, not for me." And the review says, "Too raw for me, period." Too raw. So I'm wondering if that's like raw, like the fact that there's like romantic elements in this, or raw like subject matter, or raw like Is this Gordon Ramsay raw? Is the chicken raw? I don't know. So that is the end of 1-star reviews on Amazon. So we're gonna go into the 2-star reviews. Here's one that says, "Too slow and boring for me. Terribly slow and hard to concentrate on. I understand that it was supposed to be humorous, but I just didn't find it so. The premise was interesting, but just not well executed in my opinion. I definitely will not be reading any more of the series." This one's tagline is, "Kind of dumb. Characters too one-dimensional." And the description says, "Cute, but didn't grab me." That's okay. Understandable. Like, the Alien Pop Star series is a very zany, silly comedy series, and it's not for everybody. It's totally understandable. It's about aliens. It has a lot of like fashion references and pop culture references, and because of the Bowie references, it's actually unfortunately a little bit dated. It just has to be that way because of the circumstances of David Bowie passing away right as the book was going to press. I get it. It's not to everybody's taste. That's totally fine. I don't love every book, including books that are really famous or that everybody else loves, so that's fine. I'm gonna go into some 3-star reviews now. 3 stars are where they start getting a lot longer. There's some really long reviews under the 3 stars. Their tagline was, "As I recall, 3 stars means it was okay," and it was. "I did kind of like this, but for the fact that the main character is a 29-year-old woman who acts like she's 14. I also didn't find her very likable, but it's kind of a fun story. Other characters are pretty good. I wouldn't read the rest because I think after the novelty is worn off, there wouldn't be that much left, but I could be wrong." This one says, the tagline is, "Different and upbeat," and it says, "Definitely more of a young adult novel, but a new twist to the Aliens Among Us theme. Nothing too serious, but a humorous and fun quick read." This has been like the bane of my existence. Young adult novels. People just really think when they see the covers for the Alien Pop Star series that they must be YA novels because they have beautiful covers and they're short books and they're like pop fiction, and people just assume like if it's a fun book that it must be YA. It is not YA because it is not about teenagers and is not written for teenagers. It is about adults and written for adults and by adults. It's not a YA book. It's a reason that a lot of people give it less stars, because they're either upset that it wasn't YA or they're upset that it was YA, which again, it's not. This one says, "The book was well written and the story moved along in orderly fashion, but I downloaded because it was listed as humor. I didn't really get a lot of laughs from it. It was just a pleasant story geared more or less for young people, even with the somewhat steamy adult love scenes, which were well written, by the way." Thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny because in the Alien Pop Star series, Dating Alien Pop Star has the like least steamy scenes, I guess. And then I eased into it by the second one. It was like more steamy. And then by the third one, I pushed it as far as I could and waited to see if my publisher would be okay with it. And thankfully they were. Fun trying something like that, and you know, just seeing people's reactions and hearing from people that were reading it on the subway and were like, oh, that was really hot. This one, the tag is, it was not what I expected. And they said, because of the description in the title, this book would be to my taste. It was not what I expected, and I stopped reading about a third in. So the tag on this one is good story, but this was a good story and I enjoyed it thoroughly, but there was quite a bit of sexual content. There really wasn't any explicitness, but there seemed to be too much thinking about it, as well as the act itself described just enough to know exactly what was going on, but not enough to be considered explicit. That aside, the story was fun. The characters are incredibly well developed and dynamic. I received this book free from one of the book subscription emails. I mean, it is a romance. I think some of the confusion comes in with the fact that the parent company that published my book is called Clean Teen. My book is not through that particular part of their company. It's through their imprint, Crimson Tree, which is neither clean nor teens. And another like thing that I feel like a lot of people have thought mistakenly about Clean Teen even is that it means that there is absolutely like no sexual content and no swearing. That's actually not true. It just means that they give you a rating system similar to that of movies so that you can decide before you go in, like, do I want to have this level of whatever in it? It gives you the chance to be able to make that decision before you read it, whether it's for you or if you're buying it for your teenager. That's what the actual Clean Teen thing is supposed to mean. It's more just about, you know, knowing what you're getting going in. So, but my book is not through Clean Teen. My book is through Crimson Tree, and I believe a lot of people are confused about that. Here's one, a 3-star review. The tag is, this would do well in the young adult section as well. And their review is a bit simplistic for my taste, but charming. All right, so to even this out a little bit, we're gonna do a couple of 5-star reviews because there are a lot of them, thankfully. There's like 50 of them on Amazon, which is great. So here's one that says, this book was really hilarious. The leading men have the best bromance. It was really fascinating learning about how the characters, but also what it takes to become famous this semi-day and age, especially with music. I'm not sure if maybe this is a little bit of a language barrier kind of thing, but in addition, it was awesome to see how an avid music lover falls in love with an alien, and the funness of it rather than dramatic was what made it extra special. I also like that there's this right amount of romance and the right amount of hilarity and the right amount of unique alien world building. 4.5 out of 5 stars. I truly recommend this to everyone who wants a fluffy new adult romance, who enjoys music and aliens and hilarity, and everyone who loves Devil as a part-timer. Oh, that was somebody that Jacqueline, Jacqueline E. Smith, my bud, amazing Jacqueline Smith. You need to read her books if you haven't. Jackie is amazing. I love her. She has a series called Boy Band that's also music related, and it's great. And one of these days we're going to have a crossover with one of her characters in Griffin. Actually, we've already kind of had a crossover because we both mentioned the other's character in one of our books in the series. So we're building for that crossover to happen. We've already laid the groundwork for this. We're giving you the clues. We're making this crossover happen. So I like this one a lot. This was a 5-star review. And it said, there's a lot of fish out of water humor and hijinks, as well as lighthearted romance, but also some serious moments about Griffin and Devon's quest. The romance aspects do have the stereotypical wealthy, powerful royalty elements, but not in a way that lessens a woman's autonomy or sense of self or suggests that she needs him in order to be whole. Recommended for readers looking for something light and frothy with just enough conflicts to keep the stakes high and plot moving, which is awesome. That is like exactly what I hope for with the series, and it makes me so happy when somebody has a review like that. That's awesome. Here's a person with a 5-star review who said, wow, I wanted to read something different from my usual stuff, and I'm sure glad it was this book. Though the characters are young, there's a thread in the story about one of my all-time favorite rockers, David Bowie. Well, let's just say I was around when Bowie first became popular in the 70s. I loved him from the beginning, incredible songwriter and artist, but back to this book. I loved the character development. The relationship with Griffin and Devin was particularly endearing. I'm in love with them both. I like Wanda and Cammy too, but the best characters to me were the boys. This is a light, refreshing read, and I look forward to completing the whole series. There is no annoying bad language or sex scenes. That's good. I'm glad they thought that. See, this is the funny thing, is like people's comfort level with romance and books is so different, because that other person was like too raw for me. And then this person's like, no, this is perfect. I wish more authors understood that a great story about rock and roll can be achieved without a lot of sex and drugs. Great book, great author, keep up the good work. Thank you, that's awesome. I'm so glad that that person enjoyed it, seriously. Now we're gonna look at BookBub. Here's one, this is a 4-star review from BookBub. Entertaining and often funny with a number of flashes of wit. Comedy is difficult and comedic sci-fi is particularly rare. This one works. Thank you, that's awesome. Here's a 4-star review that just says goofy but fun. Here's a 3-star review that says female protagonist, period. A bit flaky, but cute, period. Just like me. Here's a 4-star review that I thought was really fun. Okay, I totally did not expect to like this, so was prepared to dump it quickly. I was very pleasantly surprised to find it move quickly and was highly entertaining. Maybe if I was expecting it to be good, I would have only given it 3 stars, but it was so nice to read a book that flowed smoothly. I think the last few books I started, did not finish, were first-time attempts, and I couldn't handle it. Nice, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, that's awesome. Here's a fun one, this is a 4-star and says, okay, this story is a bit silly on the outside, but is enormously fun. The author did a great job creating characters you could like and dislike. The story is a bit far-fetched, but who's to say it couldn't happen? Maybe it already has. I see she has more books related to this one, and I plan to get them all. Thank you for sharing your imagination. Well, thank you. Here's a 1-star that just says, not my type of reading. Here's a 3-star that says, just wasn't for me. 5 stars that says humorous and entertaining. 2 stars that says just couldn't get into the characters. This one doesn't have a rating, but it just says not as entertaining as I thought it would be. Thought it would be funnier. It's a cute story as a standalone since I can't be bothered reading the rest. This might be my favorite. It's a 1-star review and it just says, I thought it was stupid and a waste of time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it was a waste of time. Here's a 2-star review. Sounded like a fun book. I did not find it fun enough to finish reading. I'm sorry. Oh boy, here we go. This is a 2-star and it starts off with a young adult tale about aliens coming to Earth as the next rock sensation. It's told from the point of view of a 20-something with no life. The book is amusing, but gets a bit old. I always wonder if the people that say a young adult and then notice that the person's in their 20s, if they're maybe much older and that's why to them a young adult is somebody in their late 20s. I mean, maybe that's part of where the confusion is. This is a 1-star. This one is brutal. The premise is interesting, and given the base concept, the book should be hilarious. It's not. It steers from a steamy romance novel to a strange first contact novel and back several times. What humor there is seems contrived. I just couldn't get into it, and it's one of the very few books that I've ever abandoned without finishing. Apparently, I'm not the target demographic. I'm sorry. Sorry that it's quite so steamy. Got some reviews where people wrote about it on other sites, which is always really cool. Here's a fun 4-star one. It says, sometimes I just want to read something light, funny, entertaining. I'm not looking for information or sermons. This book is all those light, non-serious things. It's the popcorn of literature. You finish the serving and wonder if you might want a little more. That's really nice. I'm so glad you felt that way. You should read the second one. The second one's my favorite. The second book in the Alien Popstar series is probably the low-key the best. And that's why I always tell people, like, please don't just read the first one. Please read the second one. The second one is really fun. It has like alien bugs and it's ridiculous. It's the level of silly that the first one is, but I think the silliness starts to like kind of find its stride in the second one. It's just great. I love it. So those are some of the funny and fun and best of the worst and best of the best reviews for Alien Popstar. There are some videos out there on YouTube, including one video that is just somebody who absolutely hated the book, didn't finish reading it, mentioned that the end didn't make sense, even though she hadn't finished reading it. And that video, for some reason, is like one of the first things that comes up when you look for my name or when you look for the series, which is a little sad because, like, I get it, she didn't like it. I'm sorry she didn't enjoy it. I just don't know why Google has to keep putting that video as like a suggested image sometimes, even for my name. But you know, again, everybody's got their opinions. If you didn't finish the book, that's totally your choice. And If you ever want to know why the end made sense without finishing the book, let me know. I'll be happy to tell you more about it. If you've started reading the series, definitely read the second book. Engaged to an Alien Pop Star is low-key the best in the series. And I'm working on a fourth in the series called Expecting an Alien Pop Star. And I really love this series. I love the characters. I know it's not going to be for everybody, and that's totally okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which of the books you've read down in the comments. Please like this video and please subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.